Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Erik ten Hag does not seem to rate Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Erik ten Hag had spoken in the build-up to the Real Sociedad game that rotation would be key, with the fixtures set to come thick and fast in the coming days, and rotate. The Dutch manager did, with 6 changes from the team that decimated Arsenal, including a first start for Casemiro and a return to the starting 11 for the likes of Fred, Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. Despite the changes, United were expected to start their Europa League campaign with a win, but their mini revival came crashing down as they suffered a 1-0 loss at the hands of Real Sociedad. Despite the reshuffle, the likes of Diogo Dalot, Tyrell Malacia and Christian Eriksen started the game, highlighting their importance to Ten Hag's system. Interestingly, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was named as a substitute, but as Samuel Lecshurst of the Man pointed out, he ended up in the director's box just before kick-off. He had missed out on the Leicester City game with a small complaint and was also absent from the Arsenal matchday squad on the weekend. It was damning to see Dalot come off at half-time with Lindelof taking his place at right back. The Dutch manager's strange tactical tweak highlighted his lack of trust in the former Crystal Palace defender. There were multiple reports during the summer transfer window which stated that United were looking to add in that department, with Wan-Bissaka set to be offloaded, but the 26-year-old did not receive too many offers, with the only bid coming in from his former club. The amount was deemed too low and the bid was promptly rejected. Nicknamed the Spider, Wan-Bissaka arrived for an initial £45 million and was guaranteed the starter under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but lost his place as soon as Ralf Rangnick entered the picture. And that theme has continued under the Dutch manager, who prefers his fullbacks to join the attack and be comfortable with the ball, traits that the Croydon-born defender lacks. It will be interesting to see if Ten Hag opts for Wan-Bissaka in games where the team will be under the coach, or if he sticks with Dalot and Lindelof. January might see the fullbacks start looking for options in search for a regular game time. Matej Kovar pens a new Manchester United deal before going out on loan. Matej Kovar signed a new deal at the club yesterday, running until 2025 with the option of a further year. In an official statement released by the club, Kovar put pen to paper, agreeing to new terms. He will then head out on loan to Czech Republic with Sparta Prague. As per United, his Kovar's immediate future, however, lies away from Old Trafford, as a temporary move to Sparta Prague has been secured, subject to international clearance. This is not the first time the 22-year-old has left Old Trafford in search of first-team minutes. He previously went to the EFL in 2020, joining Swindon Town. He also had a spell with Bolton Albion earlier this year. Initially, Kovar had agreed to join Cheltenham on a season-long loan in July. The club quickly scrapped plans for such a move, as they struggled to recruit a backup goalkeeper to deputize David De Gea. With Martin Dubravka's arrival, who will provide cover for the Spaniard shot-stopper and offer competition for the starting position, it has become more tenable for Kovar to depart the theatre of dreams. The 22-year-old goalkeeper joined United in 2018, arriving from Slovakia. He was first included in the senior matchday squad in 2019 in United's Europa showdown against Astana. Kovar repeated this feat last week in his side's 1-0 win against Leicester, where he was also named on the bench courtesy of injuries to Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Simon Jordan feels Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford is being overhyped. Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford has been disparaged by TalkSport pundit Simon Jordan, who feels the England international is hyped up. Rashford is in contention for a new contract at the Old Trafford side. However, Jordan suggests it's not due to the 24-year-old's performances, but rather based on the fact that the Red Devils are trying to protect their prized asset. Speaking on TalkSport, the former Crystal Palace chairman feels Rashford is overrated. Jordan is of the opinion that the England international is one-dimensional and has slated the 24-year-old display over the last few years. I don't think he is as good as people make him out to be. I think it's unfair on the boy too. Clearly, it's a ridiculous argument to suggest he's not a good player. He plays for his country and arguably the biggest club in the country. He's done some very commendable things, but he's not a global superstar. He isn't the best footballer to ever step foot on a pitch, and he's a little one-dimensional. He's done nothing in the last 2 years. His attitude last season was poor. After the Euro 2020 final, where Rashford missed a penalty, the England international had a tough spell for both club and country. At United last season, the 24-year-old failed to make a mark. Rashford was seemingly not trusted by either Ole Gunnar or Ralf Rangnick. The chances he did get, the 24-year-old wasted. The England international came under heavy criticism from the fans for his lack of impact. In the 21-22 campaign, Rashford made 32 appearances for the Red Devils. He ended the season with a meager 5 goals and provided just 2 assists. Under Erik ten Hag, the 24-year-old seems to have found some form once again. Rashford has been a key member for the Dutch manager. While we had a bad start to the new campaign, the England international, along with the rest of the team, have managed to turn things around. Hopefully, Rashford is able to keep up his fine form throughout the season and help the side challenge the top sides. Jaap Stam demands more from Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire played the full 90 minutes in Manchester United's 1-0 defeat to Real Sociedad on Thursday night. The England international will know he needs to do a lot more to take over from either Rafael Varane or Lisandro Martinez in Erik ten Hag's preferred back four. It was the first start for Maguire and Cristiano Ronaldo since the humiliation at Brentford last month, a selection policy that has put Manchester United on a 4-match winning streak in the Premier League, and things didn't improve when they returned to the lineup. Speaking ahead of the match about Maguire's situation and how he can regain a starting role in the team, Stam told iNews, "He needs to show everyone that he's number one. If that's not the case, you are going to be taken out. That's how it works at the absolute top. I've been there myself. You need to be consistent in what you are producing." Harry could always say, "I'm not playing, so I am going to go somewhere else." That's an easy decision for him, but if he wants to succeed at Manchester United, he needs to show himself in training sessions again, because we all know in football, especially in the Premier League, with the amount of games to be played, eventually there is a space that will open up again, and then you need to show yourself, you need to knock on the door and say, "I am going to be stepping in and I am never going to be out again." You need to convince the coach, the manager and the coaching staff now. The former United defender raises some good points, but I don't think Maguire can show his number one. It seems more unlikely now after Martinez's arrival and the impact he has had on the team. Gary Neville criticizes Casemiro's Manchester United start. Former Manchester United star Gary Neville has been left unimpressed by Casemiro's start to life at Old Trafford. The Brazilian international completed a £70 million move from Real Madrid to the Premier League giants in the final days of the Premier League transfer window. However, despite arriving in Manchester with an incredible record of success in Madrid, the 30-year-old is yet to start a Premier League game for United. Erik ten Hag started him in their 1-0 Europa League defeat to Real Sociedad in midweek action, but Neville was frustrated by his showing against the Basque Giants. Ten Hag is still working on his plans to fit Casemiro into his system despite Neville's criticism. Manchester United wanted to spend about £130 million to £140 million. They ended up spending £230 million. Says Neville, as per his appearance on the Overlap podcast. The Casemiro and Antony bids came in 2 days before the Liverpool game, which was obviously a moment where they just needed to get players in. Casemiro will not feature for United this weekend, as the Premier League calendar has been postponed following the death of the Queen. Gary Neville disagrees with the decision to postpone Premier League matches. Manchester United legend Gary Neville disagrees with the Premier League's decision to postpone this weekend's fixtures in the wake of Queen Elizabeth's death. the Premier League was under no obligation to cancel fixtures, although they have been asked to rearrange any fixtures that fall on the same day as the Queen's State funeral. A date has not been revealed just yet, but there is a possibility that United's home match against Leeds United will be postponed too, should the funeral fall on that Sunday. However, the Premier League confirmed yesterday that no fixtures would take place this weekend. United were set to travel to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace. The decision raised eyebrows among football fans. It remains to be seen how the Premier League will reschedule these fixtures with the World Cup taking place later this year. Former United fullback Gary Neville responded to a tweet from Piers Morgan in which the broadcaster journalist said games should go ahead. Neville agreed, writing, "I agree, Piers. Sport can demonstrate better than most the respect the Queen deserves. When you consider the chaos, this will likely bring the Premier League, which is already being criticized for its scheduling this season. I think Neville raises a very valid point. It's not like the Premier League was under any obligation." Manchester United looking to sign Colombian right-back. Manchester United are reportedly interested in signing former Atletico Madrid right-back Santiago Arias. According to Fox Sports, the Red Devils are considering a move for the 30-year-old free agent. Erik ten Hag is said to want to bring another fullback to share the role with Diogo Dalot. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's future remains uncertain, with him yet to feature this season. The Englishman's lack of technical ability could be a hindrance in ten Hag's system. Wan-Bissaka's biggest asset is his one-on-one defending, and he suits teams who play a deeper line. United are slowly developing into a possession-based side under Ten Hag, and many believe that the 24-year-old would be a misfit. Arias could be an interesting option to replace Wan-Bissaka. The Colombian is a seasoned pro, winning multiple titles with Atletico Madrid. He recently spent time on loan at Garnata before becoming a free agent in the summer. Dalot's performances have been brilliant this season, so if Arias does move to United, it would be as a bench player. Journalist Johnson Seans, the player, has already packed his bags and is ready to make his move to Old Trafford. He will reportedly sign a 2-year deal worth €7 million. Manchester United eyeing Matt Hobbs, head of scouting and recruitments at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Manchester United have an eye on the head of scouting and recruitment at Wolverhampton Wanderers, Matt Hobbs, according to Football Insider. Chelsea are another side in the Premier League, keen on bringing the head recruiter to freshen up their scouting department, just like the Red Devils. During the transfer window, United were criticized by most fans for the way certain deals were handled. The club initially signed Tyrell Malacia, Christian Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez. However, it seemed that was it, as there was little activity after that. It was only when the transfer deadline was upon us that the club acted. At that moment, the team had come off 2 bad results, having lost against Brighton and Hove Albion and Brentford, and it seemed the club only started focusing on the market after the setback. Considering the loss of depth in the middle of the park, supporters had thought the club would bring in more than one fresh face to bolster the middle of the park. However, United left it late and got Casemiro from Real Madrid in the final days of the transfer window. The attack was another area that evidently needed strengthening. The club signed Anthony from Ajax, and while fans were happy at seeing a new signing, they could not help but wonder whether United overpaid for the Brazilian. The hierarchy have made other contentious decisions in terms of transfers over the years. Hopefully, we are able to get someone like Hobbs who knows his way around the market. I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.